In this video, we're going to build a new performance by combining preset performances. I'm going to start off with a piano, then I'm going to add a bass part and a pad and finish it off with a percussion part. So let's get started. The first thing to do is to open the category browser and filter to pianos. Now I'm also going to filter the list to only show me the new pianos that shipped with MONTAGE M. And here's the list that we've got. So let's audition a few of those. That sounds right. So let's press exit to come out of the category browser and the performance has been loaded. The next thing to do is to add the bass part. So the piano has occupied the first two slots, and let's just check how it sounds on its own. I'm not hearing much of that upper register part, so perhaps that's on the super knob. There it is. Let's leave it at that and add our bass by clicking on the first empty part and filtering to bass. Now you'll notice that I've just got a prompt to say that seamless sound switching has been disabled, and the reason for that is that we've already got a two-part piano, and this faux fretless performance, that is the first on the list that it's returned, has 8 parts, so 2 plus 8 makes 10, and therefore we've gone above the 8-part limit for seamless sound switching. But we don't want to do that. We're actually going to use a single part bass here. So let's take off the filter for just the new MONTAGE M performances, and let's also filter to show just single bass parts. I'm going to use an electric bass, and you see that as soon as I've done that, the seamless sound switching has been re-enabled. So I can't audition these because the part is being loaded into an existing performance, but I can play them. And right now you're hearing that on top of the existing piano sound, but I can mute the existing parts in the performance using the mute command at the top here. Let's bring the piano back and let's keep checking. That'll do. So to come out of the category search, I'll just press exit again, and here we are back in the performance view with the third part, the bass, selected. Now you'll note that right now the parts are showing the type of each part rather than the name that we just loaded. If you want to change that around, you can go into utility, and it's in system, I believe. Oh, here we are. It is in system. Part display, I'll change that to name. And now we'll see that that was the felt piano, and this was the straight finger AF performance. So let's carry on. Now right now, the bass is playing across the entire range of the keyboard, and I don't want it to do that. I only want it in my left hand. So we're going to set the keyboard range. I want to set the upper limit to be this B flat, this B key here. So I'm going to press the upper limit of the keyboard range here. Press the keyboard icon and press it, and now you can see that we have B2 as the upper limit for that part. I'll turn off that keyboard control again now, and we should hear that the bass only comes up to B2. So far so good. Let's add some more. We'll go into the empty slot again and filter to pads. So let's have a listen to some of these. I think that one's nice. It's just a single part performance, as you can see from the single dot on the list of parts. So we'll come out of there and play it all together. That sounds reasonable. Let's change the level on that slightly by coming to the part volume sliders and dropping its volume. Now I've still got 4 empty slots here, so let's add some more pad. Let's go to pads and warm and see what we've got. Now I'm actually looking for a multi-part. I can't find multi-part pads because I've filtered. So there we are. Let's find. I actually want to use the Apollo pad for this demo. So let's type in part of its name, and there it is. And you can see it's a 2-part performance. Now, what I want to show you here is that as I play this, only the first part of Apollo is actually making any sound. The second part isn't making any sound at all. And the reason for that is that it's being controlled by an assignable knob. So to change that around, let's select that part, which means that the assignable knobs will now be controlling just that part. And you can see that knobs 3 and 4 have assignments. So let's see what happens. Knob 3 brings up a high-pitched ooh sound. And knob 4 brings up a lower ooh. So let's set those to about there. Now, I don't really want that first part of Apollo. Let's just solo that to see what it sounds like. So I don't really want that. So what I could do now is delete that single part and carry on from there. But I'm going to show you a different way of doing it. So let's get rid of Apollo by selecting each of its parts and deleting them. Now I'm going to go back to my empty part 5 and hit plus. We'll do the same again. We'll filter to pads and choirs and search for Apollo. But before I come out of the interface, I'm going to change the source from all to part 2. And what that will do is, rather than loading all of the parts of Apollo into my current performance, it will just load the selected part. So let's come out. And here we are, we just have that one part from Apollo, which of course we still need to adjust so that we can hear the choir parts. And let's adjust the overall volume of it. Now, I only want this part to play in my right hand, so I'm going to need to set the lower limit of the keyboard. But we can use a trick here. By pressing the split button, you can see that because we already split the keyboard when we set the limit for the bass, we have these 2 split zones. So all I need to do now to have Apollo just play in the upper zone is tell it to focus on zone B. And now it should be just there. That sounds pretty good. The straight finger should be on zone A, and let's just check that. So now we hear the bass from this B2 and less, and the choir from C3 and higher. Okay, this is all good. Now we can also change the view mode here to, where is it? Part note, and we'll get an overview of how the parts are arranged across the keyboard. So you can see that my 2 piano parts occupy the whole keyboard, the bass is just in the lower part, and the Apollo pad is in the upper part. All right, so far so good. Let's carry on. So I can see that I've got the first 4 parts occupied here. Change the tab to show tabs 5 to 8, parts 5 to 8, and the Apollo pad is in here with 3 parts left. So let's change the view mode back to be able to see all 8 parts, and now I want to add a rhythm part. Now this is a great feature of Montage. All you need to do is press Shift and Song Pattern, which is the rhythm pattern feature, and then you can pick a drum kit. As soon as you pick a drum kit, it will suggest a collection of suitable rhythm arpeggios, and when you start playing, you can hear it working. You can keep selecting different kits. You'll also see that the category and subcategory are listed here. So we're happy with that. Let's come out of the interface and see what we've got. We've now got the first two parts occupied by the felt piano. The third part is our bass in the left hand. The fourth part is another pad stretched across the entire key range. Part 5 is the Apollo pad, just using its choir part, and that's in my right hand. And finally, on part 6, we have that drum kit. And as soon as I turn the arpeggio on, then we can start to play that. That all sounds pretty good, so I want to save that. So we'll hit Store and Store as New Performance. Now I don't want to save it as Composer Felt Piano again, because that would be confused with the original Composer Felt Piano, even though one will live in the preset bank and the other one will live in the user bank. So let's call this Demo Perf 2025. Hit Done, and that's now saved to the user bank. To find that again, we need to refer to the category of the original performance. So the original performance was a piano. So if we go into category search and filter by pianos, there it is, sitting somewhere. It was there, wasn't it? There it is, Demo Performance 2025. And we can bring that back at any point and start playing it again. In the next video, we'll look at what the keyboard control icons mean and how to use them in conjunction with the scene buttons.